Let's play a quick game of financial chicken. If the economy hit a brick wall tomorrow, I'm talking 2008 level chaos, COVID pandemic levels of market drop and jobs loss, would you actually be okay? Most people like to think that they're the main character who survives the movie and survives the chaos, but their bank accounts are usually pointing to someone who's like an extra who dies in the first 5 minutes. I'm not sitting here trying to sell you like a bunker and a can of beans to prepare for the end times, but I am sitting here trying to tell you that the habits you're building right now are either your armor or your coffin for when things eventually get tight. Before we even dive into the mechanics of this, though, I want you to ask yourself this one question. If your income evaporated today, how many months until you are eating sleep for dinner? And if that question makes your stomach drop, it's time to look at these three specific habits that turn a normal economic cycle into a personal financial catastrophe. The reality is that recessions are not some freak accident or freak tragedy. They're just a normal part of the cycle, exactly like winter. You know it's coming, but if you go outside in a t-shirt and you get frostbite and lose your toes, that's kind of on you. Most of the people in their 20s right now are actually in a really weird spot when it comes to recessions because they haven't truly been through a struggling economy during a point in their lives when they were the ones that were financially supporting themselves. The closest thing that we had was COVID, but the market bounced back so quickly that many people barely even blinked, and most college grads were not the ones who were losing their jobs. I'm talking like the Great Depression, Black Tuesday, the dot-com bubble, the '08 mortgage crisis. These things have happened before, and you can bet your ass that they will happen again in our lifetime. But just because we haven't truly experienced something like that yet makes it seem kind of like this, oh, that will never happen to me kind of thing, like it's in some alternative reality. Heed this warning though, sooner or later, another economic recession is going to come knocking, and you do not want to be the poor sucker who is unprepared. Now, the statistics right now are genuinely terrifying when I look at them. Data shows that a massive chunk of the population can't even handle a $1,000 emergency without reaching for a credit card. That is one tight-ass budget. When a recession hits and you're forced to sell off all of your assets just to keep the lights on, you're essentially donating your future wealth to the people who were actually prepared. So, to avoid being the one getting liquidated, you have to start by killing the habit of lifestyle inflation. This is habit number one. Lifestyle inflation is like a silent killer where your income goes up and you suddenly decide that you're too sophisticated for, or you've just leveled up from your life that you had last year. You get a 20K raise and suddenly that reliable 2018 Toyota looks like a horse and buggy. So you trade it in for a Tesla or maybe even just a new Toyota. You get the point. If you make 50K and you spend 48K, you're surviving. But if you get a raise to 70K and immediately jump your spending to 68K, you haven't actually made any progress. You've literally just increased the cost of your own failure. The goal is to build a margin, a safety cushion, not a bigger bill at Nobu. The second habit that will absolutely cook you in a downturn is treating your savings like a suggestion rather than a requirement. We've all heard of this alpha move of keeping zero cash and investing every single penny and being balls to the wall on the stock market, but that is a dangerous mindset when the S&P 500 drops 20% at the same time that your boss hands you a cardboard box to put your little desk plant and cubicle photos in. An emergency fund is so much more than a pile of boring cash. It's almost like a time machine. $1,000 buys you out of a car repair. 3 months of expenses buys you the ability to say no to a toxic job. And 6 months buys you total peace of mind while everyone else is panicking. If you don't have the floor built, don't try to build the skyscraper. Without that buffer, you're essentially living like a high-end life on a tightrope, and a recession is just a giant gust of wind that's going to knock you off. Finally, you have to get a grip on emotional investing. Everyone claims to be a long-term investor when the line on the graph is going up and the vibes are good. It's easy to be Warren Buffett when everything is green, just like right now. I'm sure you guys have seen a plethora of influencers and new people popping up online telling you what to buy and how you should invest your money, the whole lot. But the second that the market drops 5%, people start sweating, and by 20%, they're all hitting that sell button faster than they can swipe on Tinder. There's a hilarious, albeit kind of sad irony in the fact that people will wait for a sale at the mall to buy shoes, but when the stock market goes on sale, they run away screaming. If you panic sell, you're not saving your money. You're just locking in your losses. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the inpatient to the patient. And if you can stay calm, maybe even keep your job, and definitely maintain your emergency fund, a recession actually becomes one of the greatest wealth building opportunities of your entire life. Even if you don't keep your job, but you've done a great job at preparing for an emergency, and you're able to pick up odd jobs here and there, hustling during hard times to scrap up some extra cash, you are ahead of the majority of people. In a weird way, I'm almost looking forward to the next recession as someone in their mid-20s. Not because I want to see people's lives ruined, which will unfortunately happen, but the younger generation is so fucking priced out of the market right now, it's not even funny. Markets have literally been nothing but straight up and to the right over the past decade and a half, with no real sustainable downturns. There almost needs to be some sort of price reset to let the younger generations into the market. Otherwise, things are not going to be so hot in 20 years when all of the boomers die and no one is left to keep the economy churning. So anyways, I'll finish it with this. It's rarely one thing that ruins people's financial future. It's the triple threat that I talked about in this video. It's a high-cost lifestyle, no cash in the bank, and a panicked mind. You fix those three things right now, and you'll be the one that's buying the dip while everyone else around you is wondering where it all went wrong. And with that, it's been your boy Schmib. If you guys enjoyed today's video, leave a like, drop a comment letting me know your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you guys can stay up to date on more videos like this one in the near future. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!